During perimenopause and menopause, your estrogen levels start dropping. And estrogen acts like your body's temperature control system. So when estrogen levels drop during menopause, it's like someone messed with your internal thermostat settings. So normally your brain can handle small temperature changes just fine. But without enough estrogen, your temperature comfort zone shrinks dramatically. So now when you have a little increase in your body temperature, maybe because you walked up the stairs or you're feeling a little stressed, it tricks your brain into thinking you're overheating. Your body then responds by hitting sort of an emergency cooling system. It causes you to sweat, to flush, and that awful feeling like you're standing right next to a furnace. When it's actually not hot in your room, it's just that your internal thermostat is broken and overreacting to normal increases in body heat. Now, why does this happen at night? So early in the night, your body temperature drops to help you fall asleep. But during REM sleep, when you're dreaming, and towards the morning, it naturally rises. Now, normally this isn't a problem, but remember that broken thermostat? Well, your body temperature rises during that normal sleep cycle. Again, your overly sensitive system freaks out and says, oh my God, we're overheating. So you wake up with night sweats, soaked, you throw off the covers, and now you're wide awake at 2 a.m. Now, here's the worst part. When you have hot flashes that disrupt your sleep, you become even more sensitive to temperature changes the next day. It's like being sleep deprived makes your broken thermostat even more broken. So ultimately, your poor sleep leads to worse hot flashes, which then leads to worse sleep, and you're in this vicious cycle. Now, hot flashes are very common during the day. About 80% of women will have hot flashes, but about 30 to 40% of women will have hot flashes at night that disrupt their sleep, on average waking up 2 to 4 times a night because of hot flashes. Now, here's what people don't realize. The sleep disruption actually starts before you even feel the hot flash. Your brain activity changes up to 30 minutes before you consciously experience the surge of heat. This means you might even be having these sort of silent sleep disruptions on nights when you don't remember waking up from the hot flashes. So what can you do? Let me talk about lifestyle changes that actually make a difference. These are actually backed by scientific research. Number 1, optimize your sleep environment. Research shows that keeping your bedroom cool can dramatically reduce both the frequency and intensity of night sweats. And here's why this works. So when you think about that broken thermostat, if you start your room with a cooler baseline temperature, those normal nighttime temperature fluctuations are less likely to push you over the edge into hot flash territory. Now, most sleep experts recommend keeping your room temperature somewhere between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit for optimal sleep. However, during menopause, you might want to go even cooler, like 62 to 65 degrees. Number 2, you can invest in cooling devices. One of my favorites is the 8 Sleep Pod. Now, the 8 Sleep Pod can significantly reduce your hot flashes at night. The 8 Sleep Pod is a smart mattress that adjusts temperature throughout the night on individual sides of the bed, and it even has a hot flash mode that activates rapid cooling when you have a hot flash. They even did a research study to find out if that made a meaningful difference. They took 41 menopausal women who on average were 51 years old, and for 1 week they slept without the cooling turned on, and the second week they turned it on. Every night these women tracked their hot flashes, and the researchers measured their actual sleep patterns. Now, when the cooling was turned on, women's nighttime hot flashes dropped by 54%. And 2/3 of women, about 65%, had a reduction in their hot flashes by half. Now, it wasn't just hot flashes. They ultimately felt better overall. They did this menopause symptom questionnaire, and they saw that there was improvement even in an area about physical discomfort, likely because they're tossing and turning less, they're changing the sheets in the middle of the night less often, they're just overall feeling less miserable. Now, I just got back from vacation, and I am so grateful to be back in my bed with my 8 Sleep. If you're interested in trying one, get yours at www.8sleep.com/Dr. Malik for $350 off. And you get to try it for 30 days and return it if you don't like it. But I bet you're gonna love it. Then the next thing you can do is use strategic airflow. So use a ceiling fan or bedside fan to help wick away the sweat and cool you down quickly. And number 4, you wanna dress in layers, use breathable, sort of moisture wicking fabrics so that when you have a hot flash, you can quickly just take off a layer and it will quickly wick away the moisture and let you get back to sleep more quickly. Watch what you eat and drink. For some women, certain things can trigger hot flashes. These are things like spicy food, alcohol, and caffeine even. So if you are having any of those things before bedtime, consider omitting them and see if it helps reduce the frequency and the severity of your hot flashes. Then the next thing you can do is breathe. There's actually some controlled breathing techniques that have been studied, specifically diaphragmatic breathing or paced respiration, meaning having slow, deep diaphragmatic breathing. So that's breathing deep into your belly at 6 to 8 breaths per minute can reduce how often you have hot flashes. In fact, in a 9-week clinical trial, women who practiced this paced breathing once or twice daily for 15 minutes each time reduced their hot flash frequency by 42% when they did it once a day and 52% when they did it twice a day. Now, it works by calming your sympathetic nervous system that might actually help stabilize that temperature regulation center or the hypothalamus we talked about earlier. Now, next up, reduce stress. So chronic stress elevates cortisol, which can ultimately worsen your hot flashes and disrupt your sleep. There's actually been a number of studies looking at mindfulness-based stress reduction that has shown significant benefits. So even 10 minutes a day of daily meditation, yoga might help regulate your stress response and improve your sleep quality. Now, all of these things can make a difference, but many women may need additional support through non-hormonal or hormonal medications. If you want to learn about those, comment below and let me know. Now, if you guys found this video helpful, make sure to share this with a friend. And as always, remember to take care of yourself because you're worth it.